Gentlemen, let's have a conversation. So I was going over some data, right? Some financial data, right? Since everyone's talking about it. See, the women in my work, like, they keep up with you punks. I don't, right? I just do what I do, and it's going to affect all of you, period, right? Just like they do what they do, and it just kind of affects everybody, right? I'm like, oh, you know what I'm like, yeah? In the scheme of things, everybody wants to talk about the dumbest shit, but I want to talk about real problems that I am observing in the space and whatnot. I actually said this to my supervisor this morning. I was like, everyone needs to talk about the things that are actually relevant to them, that affect them, and everyone needs to make a big fuss about that, right? That's what they really need to make a fuss about. So I'm going to go over the data so that we can all be on the same page, and should one of you fancy fucks that... what are you genius little nerds? What's the fucking, make it make sense. But you're not going to be able to, right? Because this shit is nonsensical to its core. I mean, there's a reason, right? It's completely intentional. Right. Okay, so the first thing, let's see. All right. I want to talk about the average monthly expenses for a single adult in the U.S. So the expenses, that's the money that they have going out, with housing typically consuming the largest portion of the budget. And that is true. $3,500. Okay, $3,500. Housing tends to consume that, and housing at $1,885 per month per person. Steep. And that's not including transportation, food, utilities, right? So the federal income tax brackets for 2024, and we'll say that most regular people that y'all probably haven't even fucking talked to, met, seen, nothing. Until you're out there like, give me your votes. Like 12%, right? Because it's anywhere from about 11,000 to, and I won't even say 47. Might as well just drop that back down to about 30, right? Because that's reality. The average salary in the U.S. is $66,622. False. That is fake news. Okay? According to the latest data from the Social Security Administration. Nope, cut that in half. That's not true. The average salary is not fucking $66,000. Because this is an average. That means that you're taking all the numbers, you're adding them together to find the average, right? I mean, there's another step in that, right? But this is not a technical math lesson, okay? Because it's not even hard. It's not even hard. What is the new minimum wage for, and it says federal contractors. So on January the 1st, 2025, Executive Order 14026 will raise the minimum wage rate for federal contractors. Most people aren't federal contractors. $17.75 an hour. You think that equals out to $66,000 a year? No. No, it doesn't. Do you think that equals out to about $3,500 a month? Probably not. So, here in Georgia, applicable to employers of 6 or more employees, their basic, this is how they just, I'll save my comments for the end. Basic minimum rate, $5.15. That's the state, right? Because all these people are fucking taking money from you, and they got different whatevers, right? Employees subject to the Fair Labor Standards Act must pay the current federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. Just wait, this gets good. So, $15 an hour is how much a year? $31,200. That's without taxes, right? So your estimated monthly income after taxes is, and I can attest that this is fucking correct, right? Let's see. Yeah, $1,800. $1,800, but I thought that the average for a single adult in the U.S. was around $3,500. What? 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 What's happening? Right. Oh, you're wondering why we're having this conversation. Well, because I put this phone down and I was doing something, I don't know, and it was recording. Oh, because like the wind picked up and it started raining, right? And so I wanted to record it, and there was some speak about financial stuff, right? So I'm going to speak on my financial stuff before I thoroughly review that video. Let's see. For all members of the House of Representatives, your salary per annum is $174,000, and I believe that went up to $190 something this year, didn't it? So, but let's start. From 1789 to 1815, it was $6 a day, 16 hours per diem. Then it went up from 1815 to 1817 to $1,500 per year, right? And so then, let's see, once we get out of the 1800s, once we get to 1900, it's $7,500 a year. And then there's a big jump at 1925 to 32, that's $10,000 a year. But then they cut their salary down $1,000 from 1932 to 33. And then it went down again from 1933 to 1935. That must have been whenever everybody raised hell, yeah? Or no, that was supposed to be specifically for the war, and then it was supposed to come down, yeah? Okay. So then it goes back up 35 to 1947 to $10,000 a year. 1947 to 1955 to $12,500 a year. And then in 1955 to 1965, it was $22,500 a year. And then 1965 to 1969, $30,000 a year. So you've got modern day 2025 people living on what was rich in 1965 and 1979. Explain it. Why does your income go up, but the people doing the work for you and paying you doesn't go up? Make it make sense. Your profits go up. Growth has obviously happened between 65 and 69, right? Like a lot of innovation has happened, right? But we're stuck at fucking 1965 to 1969 with yearly fucking salary, right? Like, make it make sense, fellas. Okay. So, when's our biggest jump? So that doubles by 1979 to 1983. Then it goes up a whole 10,000. Boy, you guys really fucking started just... I'll keep my offensive comments to myself. 1983, 69,800. Up another 3,000 by 84. Another 3,000 by 75, or 85 to 86. Another 2,000. And then another 9,000 by 87. Wow, you guys really fucking gave yourselves a fat ass check there. Woo! Anytime there's a major war, is that what happens? Yeah. I can hear Bush. Yeah. Oh, wow, another 10,000 by 1990. And then 91, holy fuck. We went from 98,400 per year to 125,000. Oh, then you brought it back down in 91. Okay. So where are we now? Okay. But then we went back up to to 129,000 by 92. And then another 4 by 93. Stayed at 94. Stayed at 95. Stayed at 96. And then you went up another 6,000 by 98. Stayed the same, 99. 2,141. And then we went up to 145 by 2001. We went to 150,000 in 2002, 154 in 2003, 158 in 2004, and then 162 in 2005, 165, 2006, 165. It stayed the same through 2007. 2008, we're up at 169, 300. Let's see. And then at 2009, we capped it at 174 until I believe this year. Let's do the minimum wage history. This is great. 1938, the Fair Labor Standard Act established. That is my political, like how I see all of you whenever you do this shit. It's a bush laugh, honestly. Okay, so they established the federal minimum wage at 1938 at 25% per hour. Well, let's go back to 1938. What were they making a year? Congress. So from 1935 to 1947, they were making $10,000 a year. Okay, so 1967 to 1971, the minimum wage was increased to $1 in February. Oh, it only took you fucking 30 years. Woo! 1967, $1.15. In February 1968, $1.30. In February 1969, $1.45. In February 1970, and $1.60 in February 1971 for newly covered non-farm workers. So 1978 to 1981, the minimum wage continued to rise to $2.65 in January, $2.65. $2.90 in 78. $3.10 in 79. January 1980, $3.35. 1997, the minimum wage increased to $5.15 in September 1997. That's exactly where the fuck Georgia is stuck, right? In 1997. Lord help us. Let's see. So 2007 to 2009, further increases occurred to $5.85, but Georgia is just where it is, yeah. So, because it is going to be different for state, but we're talking about federal. $6.55 in July 2008, and finally to $7.25 in July 2009. The federal minimum wage has remained at $7.25 an hour since 2009. Well, I certainly saw the people who represent the people, their wage just fucking climbed and climbed and climbed. It must be because they are taking money from more people than, because there's more of people than there are of them, yes. But they are richer than the people? How's that work? Oh, give them bread and circuses, yes. In 2024, the food bank reliance in the U.S. remained high, with 49 million people, or 1 in 6 Americans, relying on charitable food assistance programs. I'm doing all this for a single person. There are people that I work with that have families right? I'm a single woman. I live by myself, right? And it is hard for me. I cannot fucking imagine, right? So, charitable food assistance programs in 2022 and data suggests food insecurity numbers worsened in 2023. The increased demand, with 65% of food banks seeing an increase in the number of people served in October 2024 compared to the same period last year. A significant portion of the population faces food insecurity, with 49 million people, or 1 in 6 Americans, relying on food assistance programs. I know that the ladies that I work with absolutely do. They go fucking 3 times a month. Me, I just buy a bag of potatoes and eat fucking potatoes. I don't care, right? It is what it is. My cats eat better than I do. But I think I found them a dry food, which is much cheaper. I'm just going to give them that because they seem to just prefer that now, which is great. Which is great, yeah. Factors contributing to the increased reliance, inflation and wage stagnation. That is for fucking sure. I just went over the data. The rise in food security, with data suggesting that food insecurity numbers worsened in 2023 compared to 2022. Feeding America, that network, more than 135,200 New Hampshire residents are food insecure. A year-over-year increase of more than 41,000 individuals, or 43.9%. The USDA Food and Nutrition Service allocated 3,772,000 to 27 TFAP state agencies for food banks in 2024. The 2 largest food banks, Midwest Food Bank and Feed the Children, which is a British thing, had revenue of just over $500 million in fiscal year 2023. You know, if you would just pay people a proper wage, you could just cut all those programs, yeah? You could. You could. If you increased everybody's fucking salary, if Congress had to keep the salary that they want everybody else to fucking survive on, you could just fucking cut it out. You could cut it all out, guys. You could cut it out. There's the fucking solution. Make them pay a livable fucking wage, and Congress doesn't make more than the fucking people funding them. Make it make fucking sense. It may be coming from many different sources, many different fucking places, right? But you all are not looking at the fucking lens like from where I am, right? Like normal fucking people, right? The only time y'all see normal fucking people is whenever you want something from them, and that's it. Right? When you're out there making your big declarations, your fucking theater, okay? We're cutting the theater right now, and we are talking fucking numbers, and we are talking solutions, right? Because, I'm sorry, I would have fucking fired you. I did fire you, actually. Like, I did fucking fire you. Right? Because there's no need for any of this. None of it. And there are people out there who run their fucking mouth talking about, no, well, they can't because then this will happen and this will. No. Cut it. Nope. Nothing has to be the way that it is. It's a choice. And if the system is fucked, then you fucking fix where it's fucked. Yeah? So I don't want to hear none of that shit, right? Because we're getting to the Economic Policy Institute's graph. Profit margins spiked and did not normalize until very recently. Profits divided by the sum of labor and non-labor cost in non-financial corporate sector. The profit margin from 1979 to 2000, well, they don't even have that line on here. Or I guess maybe this is it, yeah. Why are people poor? Why are the people producing the labor? Why are the people producing the labor? Why are the people producing the labor poor and using food banks and living in cars? People can't pay their fucking mortgages. People can't fucking pay their fucking bills, right? But when you go in and apply, they're going to want you to make 3 times in order to get a fucking shitty ass apartment around a bunch of fucking whatevers, right? That's what they want, right? That's the standard that they want to set for that, right? Knowing that the world standard does not fucking operate that way, right? Right? Y'all, get on my nerves. So 174,000, and we'll say that the average person, right? Because even people with fucking bachelor's degrees, even if I were to walk into a fucking lawyer's office or go into a government fucking agency and fucking do whatever for them, yes, they want to pay you $15 an hour across the fucking board. Unless you live in one of the more expensive states like California, blah, blah, blah. But when you do the math at all, it's all the same fucking thing, right? Like their minimum wage over there is the same as the fucking $15, $14 that everybody else is fucking paying, okay? So, rob Peter the Poor to pay mouth-breathing Paul, also known as the useless government. There's 174,000 to 30,000. That's a real number. I could do it on federal income, right? If we wanted to be super duper technical, right? About how little y'all actually gave a fuck about the people fucking funding you, right? Perhaps I'll do that math, yes. Because that'll be more shocking than this. Wage disparity for those who pay you, the poor people. Remember, taxes fund the government. So 74,000 minus 30,000, that is $144,000 disparity between the people fucking paying you and doing the labor that makes the world go round, your little system go round. Then I memed it up, yeah? Politics is the gentle art of getting votes from the poor, and campaign funds are from the rich by promising to protect each other from each other. And ain't that the fucking truth? Now, let me tell you something. If somebody funds you, you're going to give them, like, favors. Yeah. This is a good debate to have. Who funds you more? Billionaires or the collective people? That's an interesting, those would be some interesting fucking numbers. They would, right? Because then you got to calculate time, you got to calculate consistency, right? Right? Like rich people just be like, well, here's $1 billion, do whatever with it, right? But the poor people, they got to work every day to fucking keep up with your shit, yeah? Anyways. Poverty exists not because we cannot feed the poor, but because we cannot satisfy the rich. And that is the fucking truth, right? These numbers say it all. The state of the world says it all. But you all are in such a little fucking hoity-toity bubble that you have no fucking touch with reality. None. And these people are fucking watching you people every day and fucking arguing for you people and discussing you people. No. They need to discuss the shit that is important, right? Not your fucking little created whatever. Not your drama that you choose for them, but real shit, right? People need to discuss, be angry and upset about real shit. Right? Because no matter what you do, it is rigged so that you cannot fucking get ahead. It's rigged, right? Good old Theodore Roosevelt. It's better for the government to help a poor man to make a living for his family than to help a rich man make more profit for his company. If he wants the system to run, yeah, of course, right? At this point, I just think you just don't need one, right? They need to be deleted from the code. Go somewhere else. Politics. A bunch of rich people convincing poor people to vote for rich people by telling poor people that other rich people are the reason they're poor. Thanks. How poor people spend the little money they have is always a topic of discussion, yeah? right? It's always, I've got to give up whatever little joy that I have, right? Like, I'm not even buying Starbucks coffee to brew because it's fucking $20 a bag. Starbucks, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your fucking mind. It's fucking coffee beans. The CEO did not go out there in those fucking fields all day and fucking, no, he didn't. He paid somebody fucking $2 an hour, probably less than that, right? That's why they're all in other countries, to exploit them, you know? Because there's a little bit of, well, you can exploit them, but just not like you can exploit them, right? Right? All right, if we're being fucking honest. Right? Let's talk about how rich people spend the money the poor people create. Yeah. Of all the preposterous assumptions of humanity over humanity, nothing exceeds most of the criticisms made on the habits of the poor by the well-housed and well-warmed and well-fed. And ain't that the fucking truth? How incentives works for the rich. Give them tax breaks, give them bonuses, give them stock options, give them perks and goodies and privilege. For the poor, take away their food. That'll incentivize them to work harder. Yeah. Should incentivize them to fucking remember what the fuck the Constitution is for, you know? If you want the system to work, right? Like I said, I think they're just better put somewhere else. In a different fucking layer of the light, per se. Like, the fuck out of here. I need someone to explain to me why it's always, if you can't pay rent, buy fewer lattes and avocado toast, and not if you can't pay your employees a livable wage, buy fewer yachts, rockets, and spacecrafts. Explain it to me like I'm in kindergarten, right? Yeah. Yeah, I need somebody to do that. So in Black's Law, in legal terms, as defined by Black's Law Dictionary, slavery is a situation where one person has absolute power over the life, fortune, or liberty of another person. Sounds about like slavery. In Black's Law Dictionary, liberty is defined as freedom from arbitrary and unreasonable restraint on an individual, but we have police. Encompassing freedom from bodily restraint, but we have police. The right to act according to one's will. And other fundamental rights. Freedom, exemption from extraneous control, the power of the will, and its moral freedom to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice. Freedom, exemption from extraneous control, the power of the will, and its moral freedom to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice. So you have a choice, right? You have a choice, people. You have a choice. They don't want you to know you have a choice, but you have a choice. You have a choice. You don't have to fucking do anything. You don't have to. Nada. Everything's merely a suggestion. Everything is merely an idea that you fucking agreed to. Yes, it is. Yes. And then they recruit other people, right? Like generation after generation. This is how we do things. So that everyone's good and brainwashed to keep perpetuating some shit that really just needs to fucking go. Yeah? That's what it really is. But if you don't speak their language, then they can just fuck you over, right? They can, they do. That's how this whole place operates. for now. Right? Because like I said, I'm not adapting to this dystopian shit. You will adapt to me or you get the fuck out, period. Right? Right? And I represent the people because I am more powerful than they are. I understand frequency better than they do. Yeah, you do. Right? You only hear one Rena echoed through this motherfucker. You only hear my name echoed through this motherfucker. Right? Naturally, you all have TVs and shit like that. Yeah, but who understands the language? Me. Yeah. So I choose. Right? I choose to represent the people properly, right? In these matters. Yeah. Right. Because there's been many a times I wish when I didn't have the knowledge, right, that someone would have done that for me, right? It would have been really nice. But they always needed money, right? There was no moral whatever. It's just, you pay me, right? I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to do it for free. Using all of their shit, right? They've already made all the shit. I'm just going to use it. I'll do it for free. Free. Yeah. How about you all in the government, right? Because I hear that shit over here all the time. And the government, this is your government. Fuck you. You're not my government. You do not govern me. I govern me. Mm-hmm. And I govern the weather. I govern your fucking sky. I govern a lot of things, yeah. So I govern the sciences, the resonances, right? Like, as far as I see it, this is my fucking planet, right? And like I said, we're either going to come to a compromise or you're going to have to get the fuck out, right? Period. Right? Isn't that how it always works? I've got the power, so you do shit my way or you get the fuck out. Right? I got the power, so do shit my way or get the fuck out. Right? Ain't that how they fucking act? It is. When they think they've got the power and the upper hand, it is. Right? It is. Every fucking time. Yep. Never fucking fails. Why don't those people that I pay come in here and wash my dishes or clean out my litter box or fucking mow my yard or fucking, well, where is this invisible government that I give all this money to that I don't ever fucking personally see? Right? I don't never fucking see you do shit for me, right? Not anything useful. You're not doing anything useful for me, right? If it's not useful, then we get rid of it, right? If this is not equally beneficial, if this is not an equal exchange, right? Because we need balance, then you got to fucking go, right? Right? You got to get the fuck out of my life. We can't do this. We can't do this. We're not going to do this. Mm-mm. Right? You're not going to have me doing this shit. You're not. I'm not paying to learn your language. That's dumb. To meet your ends. This is so, like, this world is so coercive, right? When you really break it down, right, just sit in silence and really think, right? Look at the government like, since they're just a constant in your fucking life, like a sibling or a parent or a fucking a spouse. Like, would you put up with that shit? If somebody, like, drained your fucking bank account. Would you put up with that? Well, fuck no, you'd be pissed. You'd probably kick their asses out, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Can't have you fucking up my life. Get the fuck out, right? You need to look at this shit the same way. Yeah? I do not need no bummy ass government like fucking sitting on my couch fucking sucking all the resources out of me. That's just extra work for me. No. Get off your ass. Get off your ass. Get the fuck out. Yeah? Fucking dusty ass government. That's what we call it. That's what we call it in the hood, okay? That's what we call it in the South, right? That old musty ass, dusty ass that fucking sits in your house and don't do shit for you. And once you take care of him like you're his fucking mama, that's a dusty motherfucker. Your government is a dusty motherfucker. Facts. 5 something an hour. Motherfucker, feed your family on 5 something an hour. Feed your family on 15 for a little while, and I bet you'll be extra motivated to focus on the important shit, right? You'll be extra fucking motivated then. Oh, I can't do this. Right? That's why I always get irritated with people who fucking have mounds of fucking credit cards and think they're better than everybody else, and they're fucking talking shit about the kid who's, you know, trying to build his own little thing like in the woods, like that video that I posted. I get so fucking pissed at you people. You're fucking poor. You're a debt slave. He's free. Free. Has time to do whatever the fuck he wants. Has time to fucking be creative, right? That's good energy, right? That's free energy. Side skirting over here to you stupid government fucks. I want you to think about this for a minute. You want everybody to fucking pay exuberant amounts of money and go into debt to fucking learn some shit to be innovative, right? For you, for your system, right? Imagine all the people out there, including myself, right? And the guy who makes Nature Jab, yeah? Who wanted a solution for the plastics, right? And he started converting plastic into fuel, right? Not a new concept, but it is just something he jumped into. He built the whole thing by himself. He's going through the experiments. He records his experiences. Something fun for him. It's creative. But he didn't, and you wouldn't believe the ones that paid, like, coming after him, right? Like, you have to pay for that paper. You have to go into debt like me. I spent 20 years of my life in fucking debt. Seething, right? Because someone exercised their free will, right? Y'all get mad because people exercise their free will. That's what y'all get mad about. Regular people and the government, period. Right? Because you don't know how to do it yourself. Or because you're already so entangled into that shit, right? That the thought, right? It seems foreign, right? It seems fucking foreign, right? But imagine all the people who can't afford due to your shit system, right? With all of these innovative ideas and this and that, right? They could solve every single fucking problem that y'all say that there is, right? Without that burden, right? That burden of standard or societal expectation or whatever, right? It's absurd. Y'all are dumb. Y'all really are like the fucking dumbest. The fucking dumbest, right? And add nepotism to it, right? So you're recruiting dummies over people, because we just had this conversation this morning. You're recruiting dummies over people with actual fucking experience and actual fucking school. This pertains to like the law and government sector, right? Like the fucking courts up here, yeah? or here in Georgia, right? When I asked her, you can always tell whenever people mistake me for a fucking dummy, right? I sit down, there are 3 women there, right? And they look fucking disheveled. I was like, well, this isn't very professional right off the fucking bat, right? So I already know that they're not taking it serious. Why? Because they got Mary Bob down the street. That's why. When I asked her, how did you end up in this position? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, because I knew somebody and they needed somebody down here, right? And she's hiring for someone to take her position. I walk in with all of the credentials, more credentials than her, right? But I don't know somebody who knows somebody. I'm not a Nepo baby. Yeah, not in the traditional sense, right? So what do we have? What do we have as a result of all of this? A big shithole. A fucking shithole. A shithole full of fucking dummies is what we have, right? None of it makes sense. Anytime someone thinks that it is a better idea to fucking do something for the short term instead of the long term, bigger picture, right? It never fucking ends well. It never fucking ends well, right? Never fucking ends well. Never. Right? Because the fucking sight is so fucking short that you can't see, well, this is not gonna be good. This is gonna da 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 da. And how long have y'all been fucking doing this shit for fucking Jesus? Like, y'all are really, really dumb. Really dumb. Government, you are really fucking dumb. You all need to be turned into fucking animals, let loose on the fucking wild to leave the rest of civilized humanity alone. Right? We've seen what you can do, which is obviously shit. So let's see what everybody else could do if they didn't have you fucking shitheads in the way, right? Bureaucracy, bureaucracy, bureaucracy. It's all fucking bureaucracy, right? I loathe bureaucracy. They want to give grants, right? So poor people listen to this, right? Because if I want to get anywhere, then I'm going to have to, like, pay all this money that I just fucking can't, afford, right? Because they need their slaves. And I'm not a fucking slave. I'm going to tell you that right now. But, they'll introduce, like, these little acts that are under the guise of help. But you should hear the shit. They want you to fucking keep up contact with them for a year after, show that you've not done this and this for 5 months, and show all this, blah, 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 jump through all these fucking hoops. And you know why they make it difficult like that? So you just won't, because they don't want to help you. They don't want to give you the money. They don't want to help you get ahead. I think that whenever the population can understand this and see through the fucking illusion, right, and exercise their free will. Free will. Free will is like what I do. I paint the fucking sky, control the fucking elements, control the weather. Yeah. Free will is prioritizing my work, my personal science work over this paycheck shit, right? Free will is it is more important to me in the bigger picture for me to work on this for myself and people, right? Than to jump through unnecessary fucking hoops, right? Than to make stupid decisions that people think are fucking smart, right? I do not need a boss. I do not need any fucking body telling me some shit about some shit they don't know nothing about, right? I see them building their shit. I see what they do and how fucking far they are. I know how fucking, right? Because that kind of knowledge, it doesn't come, no shit person will ever get the information. You'll never be able to fucking figure it out. You'll never be able to fucking figure it out. I don't care how much shit you fucking build. You'll never be able to fucking figure it out. You just won't. So, that's free will. I choose to prioritize this over whatever the world fucking thinks I should be like, whatever, yeah? I choose to, because in the bigger picture, right? The bigger scheme of things, right? And because it's not all about me. It ever is, right? It never is. Never has been. But anyways, there is my little rant to you fucking fuckheads who think that you're so fucking important, relevant, and needed. You are not. I will turn all of you back into the fucking animals that you are, and you can go run into the fucking wild and go eat up the fucking poison that you've put on the planet, you know? Like planting sunflowers where nuclear radiation is, right? You just fucking plant them there, and then you let them absorb all the stuff and toss them. Yeah. Sort of like what y'all have done to people with dumping chemicals and shit, right? Just something to think about, right? Because I got a fucking wicked ass brain, okay? Not wicked in a bad sense, like wicked, precise brain, right? And I got wicked will skills. Yeah. So, I don't give a fuck if you don't take me seriously or not, right? Like I said, the proof is in the pudding, right? I'll just fucking, you know, you'll just, ain't none of my shit been misaligned yet, right? So I suggest you listen to what the fuck I gotta say, and you take me fucking seriously, and you fix this shit, you fucking leechy fucks, you know? Right. Because once again, I am not adapting to your dystopia. You will adapt to me. I'm not adapting to you, right? And if I control the earth and the elements of it, yeah, then I suggest you fucking listen, right?